Let's go. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of RipCast. From the pineapple to the Big Apple, from Maine to Spain. Let me know where you are. Check in the chat. We got a great show for you tonight, guys. We're just going to get right into it. I got 2 words for you. Haka haka. We got a special guest tonight. You all know who it is, right? But first of all, let me introduce my intrepid co-host. Getting ready to kick it off. Bringing it out to the fields. Out here in the fields, he fights for his meals. He gets his back into his living. Ladies and gentlemen, Corndiff.
Oh my God. Tony, good evening. How are you?
Hey now. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here.
You like our new intro?
I do. That's badass. Yes, I like that.
Got to build a mood up a little bit, especially for such a historic program as the one going on this evening.
Yes.
We have an internet first here, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I am Tony D, your host, by the way. Thank you for asking. Just, I'm so excited about the program this evening. Make sure no matter where you're viewing from, whether it's on the replay, whether it's here live, you're hitting that like button and sharing it with a friend. So we do have an exciting show. Tookie is on with us this evening, and this is the first time you two have been on together.
Yes, I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting Tookie. Yeah, wow. So this is going to be exciting for me.
Well, this is an epic moment then, because you know what we have here is like sometimes we just have just a Mr. Rogers show on acid right here. You know what I mean? And we're just going to keep that rolling. I love that vibe. I love to get weird. So I think we have a movie review coming as well.
I heard about that. That's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Everybody put your hands together. It's Tookie.
Whoa! Hello, everybody. It is so nice to see you, boys and girls. Zero Dark Anthony, thank you for having me on your show. Corndiff, it is finally nice to meet you. This is fantastic. Yay!
That's right.
Great to meet you.
A historic moment.
Yes. How are you, Tookie?
Oh, I am excellent. No, I am lying. I just got back from the shittiest movie I have ever seen.
You did? What was that, Tookie?
Would you like to take a guess? It just came out this weekend, and it was a big pile of shit.
Is it a movie that perhaps has the wrong cast and everything is wrong about it?
Yes. It had Bert Kreischer. No, I mean, it did not have Bert Kreischer in it. I did not see The Machine. I saw The Little Mermaid.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
My God.
I've heard good things about that.
What's your review?
Listen, Tookie is your liberal best friend till the end, but my God, the Little Mermaid being black was the least of the concerns. She has a giant Cocoa Puff on her forehead. Tookie could not take his eyes off of it. A Cocoa Puff on her forehead, along with adult acne. And it is glaring. And it's just always there. And oh, guess what ethnicity her father is?
Latino.
He seems to be some kind of like Latino, or I don't know what he is.
Perhaps
But
Grecian.
all his daughters are completely full-blooded different ethnicities. So Ariel has an Asian mermaid sister, a white mermaid sister, an Indian mermaid sister, a black mermaid sister, a mixed mermaid sister. It is amazing how many different women her dad screwed.
There is a lot of genetic play going on in the new mermaid family. Very interesting.
But it does not end there, Zero Dark Anthony. It does not end there. Do you remember Scuttle the seagull?
Yes.
Well, he is now a she.
What?
Okay, that's not a
Oh,
big
dear.
deal either. But did they ever bring up what Eric's mother's ethnicity is? Prince Eric?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
recall
so.
that.
Well, spoiler alert. She is a very royal, full-blooded African-American woman.
Wow.
And they explained that because Eric was found after a shipwreck. So he has been adopted by this very rich, royal African-American woman who lives in England? Some tropical island?
You need some kind of physics calculator
Oh, the
to keep up with this.
Oh, the songs were horrible. It was like listening to karaoke. Like the whole thing is about how Ariel has this beautiful voice. And this girl sings this song. I mean, she's okay, but it is not what the original cartoon song sounded like. Tookie wasted 2.5 hours. This movie was 2.5 hours.
It
Oh
was
my God.
2.5 hours.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Literally 5 minutes into the movie. Guess what Tookie's almost 4-year-old, she's actually 3, but she'll be 4 in like a month and a half, she said about the movie.
Uh-oh. What?
She said Mario was way better than this.
Wow.
And
See?
she loves
that's
Little Mermaid.
Jeez.
She went in her Little Mermaid apparel.
You know, that's where the Italians come in right there. The
Oh,
Italians come in and swept the crowd again.
Oh, the
That's what happened.
Italians, they are stinky people, but yes, it is crazy how horrible this movie was. It is a big load of dog shit. Do not support this movie. Do not go see The Little Mermaid. And again, it is just based on it being a horrible movie.
So if we were to have you rate it, would you rate it in for Tookie ratings? Would we say from 0 to 5 Tooks? Would we say pause? What would we use for your rating system?
I don't know. I mean, all I can think about is big piles of dog shit. So I guess if
There
you're
you go.
going to go with that, I would give it 5 piles of dog shit.
5
But-
Dookies from Tookie. 5
Yes.
Tookie Dookie. Okay, we got
But
5
0
Tookie
would be
Dookies.
like 5 stars. So it is 0 stars from Tookie. Go see the Mario movie. The
The
Mario
more
movie
shit,
is
the
fantastic.
less it hits.
Oh, garbage. Utter garbage.
Well, Tookie, you
That's a
know,
great
I
one.
wanted to also fill you in on somebody that you know, in the title it says Tookies, and people might have been confused. They might have said, "Oh, that
Yes, there's
Zero
only one
Dark
of me."
Anthony fella, he must have been nipping at the old he must have been nipping at the NyQuil before he got on that title."
Yes.
Well, I actually have another Tookie for you to meet that I want to introduce you to. Because there are several Tookies in history. This one is a little bit of a different kind of Tookie. And let's just introduce you real quick
I'm so
to
excited.
our friend, William.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So one of the videos that I've gotten requested recently is a video on Stanley Williams, aka Tookie Williams. So Tookie Williams was the founder of the West Side Crips.
Did you know that? Did you know that the founder of the West Side Crips in California was named Tookie? This was in the 70s. Look at this guy's physique in the 70s. Pretty impressive.
Yes,
So obviously you guys are familiar with the gang.
What's that?
I had no idea until recently. People have been asking if I am a Crip.
and you were wondering where the reference was from?
I'm so yes, I don't want to answer wrong and get
Well,
shot
here
in the
you go.
head.
Well, here you go. Now you can clearly say no relation whatsoever.
No,
so we
I
can
am green.
Called the Crips. But interestingly enough, he was actually a bodybuilder and had a pretty impressive physique. So he might be one of the most notorious, next to Bertle Fox, bodybuilders that was convicted of murder. Now, although he was never a competitive bodybuilder, there are many.
Now, the only comparison that I would make here to compare you to right there
Jeez.
is the hair.
Oh yes, that's
know?
fantastic hair.
Yes.
He was rocking that same hair. And so I think this is where maybe people get confused.
His arm looks like a leg.
And this is the 70s. This is before a lot of the heavy steroid stuff was going on. I think
Famous photos of
his
Tookie
dimensions
Williams'
here.
physique. He was only 5 foot 10 inches tall, 300 pounds, just typically walking around.
Yeah.
His arms measured a very impressive 22 inches, and he was rumored to have a 20-inch neck.
Wow.
And he was notorious for being, a super heavy trainer and weightlifter during his time in prison in San Quentin. So in 1979, Tookie Williams was convicted of murdering 4 people. So a 7-Eleven employee, and then separately an elderly Taiwanese couple and their daughter. So a total of 4 people.
Jesus
Then on
Christ.
December 3rd,
Well, I mean,
Holy shit! Why did he kill all those people?
It's a different time.
because they was home.
Jeebus.
Jeeba.
Yeah, that's a horrible crime. And a 7-Eleven, he did this.
2005, so nearly 40 years later, he was executed by lethal injection at the age of 51.
He was actually the last to be put to death in California.
At San Quentin prison.
Oh shit.
So ironically enough,
And that's true. Go to the chat for a second here. They're saying, "Hey, Crips wear blue, right? And
Yes.
you are indeed green."
Yes.
So
Yes. So he cannot be a Crip. Do we know what his last meal was? I'm always fascinated by last meals.
that would be very fascinating. I'm sure we'll get some guesses in the chat of what his last meal would be.
Oh, yes.
San
very
Quentin is
creative
obviously in
guesses.
California. So when he was
Let's have some guesses in the chat of what his last meal would be. We'll post these up.
sentenced to death, Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually the governor of California. So Tookie Williams actually wanted some he requested clemency and a 4-week stay of execution, and Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger denied both.
Yes. I would
So the
love
reason
to
he
know.
actually never competed in bodybuilding was he attempted to compete in an amateur bodybuilding competition relatively early in his gang career. But when they found out he was actually the leader of a gang, he was denied the opportunity to compete in that bodybuilding contest. So he was never a competitive bodybuilder, but his physique was very impressive. And it was so.
I don't know if you recognize what this background is here, but this is a 70s show.
Is that the Gong Show?
The Gong Show, exactly.
Yes.
Tizzy. Awesome. He
Wow.
made it. Yeah. Tookie was on the Gong Show.
That
So
is crazy. And he's wearing Superfly's pants.
he is. He is. The 70s were wild. The 70s
So
were
impressive, in fact, that he was actually
wild.
offered.
You know what's funny? We're going to go into some stuff that was really in the late 70s and 80s right after this. But a lot of these shows right here, you would see this, and then right afterward, like Lawrence Welk would come
Sure.
on, or the Love Boat.
Do you know what he
Or
did
the-
on the Gong Show, or did he just pose?
He had not. I don't think he had been convicted or committed those crimes yet. They were just afraid of his gang affiliation to let him actually compete in bodybuilding competitions.
Sure.
He kind of slipped through the cracks on the Gong Show here.
Oh, but yes, what did he do on the Gong Show? Do you know?
Just this bodybuilding sort of thing right here.
Opportunity to do it.
Oh, okay, there's more. Oh, okay, cool.
So I think he just kind of got up and
Oh, this is fascinating.
there's some
Posing
I
routine
think I've-
on a television show in the 1970s called The Gong Show. So he was actually just on that show doing a pose down, despite the fact he had never competed in bodybuilding. So that's just how, impressive people found his physique at the time. He was a gang leader. He wasn't an actual bodybuilder in terms of competing, but he was still invited to do a posing routine on TV because he was so impressive. So perhaps if Stanley Williams had gone down a different path in life, he could have actually been maybe a very successful bodybuilder. Because really for the 70s, the physique that he had, man, that's a pretty impressive and pretty big physique for the 1970s. So he might have been able to actually achieve something in bodybuilding had he been allowed to compete, had he not been a gang leader. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, especially if his arms, especially for that era, were just very impressive. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
So I'm going to actually show you.
That is impressive for any era. Any era.
I just found something real quick while you guys were there. I am going to just throw this on real quick so you could just see just a quick video of what he did.
Cool.
Play rich, that was your game. So when your homeboy bled, that was your.
I think that is. Hold on, this is
I was gonna say
music. I'm muting it.
Yep. So I guess he just did some kind of pose and dance.
There, that's
wearing a skirt.
Look at that. He bumped. He did some bumps. Do the bump.
Do the Bloods have this footage?
I think. See that? Look at that. There's a little pose down. Look at that.
Titty dance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love a titty dance.
Who doesn't?
Male or female, a titty dance is impressive to Tookie.
It is a titty dance. Is a titty dance. Is a titty dance. Worth. This is worth dollar bills.
Yes, I hope he did not get gonged.
I don't think anybody's gonna gong him, dude.
No,
I think it's
okay. That's a little much. Now,
wow!
Whoever made that video, I think liked that a little bit too much. That performance. But before, when I was talking to you, we did mention that there was, and in the thumbnail, you'll see a guy and a guy named Wally George. Have you ever heard of Wally George, Tookie?
I have heard of the name, and I did not Google him because I figured I would just learn on the show. I'm assuming he looks like a guy who maybe had a show in the 70s or something.
And have you ever heard of Morton Downey Jr.?
Oh, yes, of course. He used to get into conflicts with Howard Stern all the time. And then Howard had a countdown, or they would do a betting thing to see when he would die of lung cancer.
that was one of the I believe they did that on their dartboard.
Yes.
But Corndef, you've heard of these guys, right?
Yeah, a little bit. No, I don't know much about him though.
Okay, so Wally George was basically like the first one of the first conservative, along with Morton Downey Jr., the first conservative guys on the air. They were very funny, they were very loud, they were very rambunctious, very dramatic. And really, if you look at this, it looks exactly like a podcast. But what we have here today is not only do we have Wally George, who is, by the way, Hollywood actress Rebecca De Mornay's father. Yes, Wally George is Rebecca De Mornay's father.
Nice.
But
I only know her name from Wayne's World. When Garth says Rebecca De Hornay.
Right.
What was she in? That's all I know her from.
She was in some 80s movie. That's all I know.
Oh, and real quick, Tookie's last meal, according to Dirty Dalish, was just oatmeal and milk.
Really? He was.
Wow.
Well, he had to carb up because he thought he was, he was going to have to like run or do some burpees.
Do we know how he was executed? I'm assuming.
I believe that's going to be injection in
70s.
It was lethal injection.
Lethal injection.
Oh, how
right?
boring!
I know.
Everything about it was boring.
Well, I think they gave you a little extra something in the 70s if you asked for it in your cocktail there.
Okay, sorry to derail the show.
Not at all.
That was interesting.
Not at all. That is very interesting. I would figure that he would be one of those guys that ate like 30 things.
Yes. Yes. To leave a big mess behind.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going to have steak. I'm going to have, I'm not going to say other
tons
things.
of ramen noodles.
Yes,
all that kind of stuff.
Soups. You can't trade them soups anymore.
Soups,
you may
milk.
eat them.
Oh, I guess the milk and oatmeal. That could
Oatmeal and milk.
make a big mess.
So there was a controversy that I'm going to introduce you to with Wally George before, and you guys are going to really get to see what the 80s is about here a little bit. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, guys. Keep that chat moving. We're going to get to you guys in just a second. Just going to show a little more stuff here. This is Wally George, all right? And when you hear Wally, and you'll see he is against alligators at the roller derby. Here we go.
During last night's Violator Maniac game, the Gators were once again used to break a tie. This is an outrage. I said it before,
Jesus.
and I'll say it again.
Real?
Those are real alligators. What? And this was in the 80s, man. Okay. See, this is like the time where I grew up. This is where people didn't care. So take a look at this. First of all, alligators in a roller derby. A roller derby.
What is happening? Is this not Faces of Death?
This is not. This is just the 80s. This is like 1982 or something like that.
Wow!
Ban the Gators from the game.
Ban the
Return
Gators
those
from the
slimy
game.
green lizards to the swamps where they belong. And while we're at it,
Lizard.
ship Animal back to the jungle as well. Let's end this ridiculous Gator scenario once and for all and get back to the pure game as it was intended to be. Write to me and give me your opinion. If you don't write, I've got friends in high places, and I'll end up banning those Gators myself.
See, back then, did you hear how it was? Write me a letter. Like
Yes.
back then, you actually had to get down and get a stamp, and
Yes.
and people would do that. They would write to this guy saying, "Yeah, keep the Gators, ban the Gators."
Yes. When Tookie would watch TV as a little Took, he would see things for sale on TV, and they would always say, "Sorry, no COD," and that would always make Tookie feel bad. But Tookie never knew what COD even meant until he's much older.
And that no longer exists.
Isn't that
The
crazy?
closest thing is
They would
prime try
deliver-
before you buy.
They used to deliver stuff to your house, and you would give cash when it came.
Oh, right at the receipt, dollar bills to the delivery person.
That is weird. Sorry, no COD.
No COD.
I say enough of this. It's time for my roller. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, folks, but I can remember a time when sports were just sports. Not just an excuse for senseless violence.
Now, you guys hear the term commentary all the time, right? We hear commentary all the time with YouTube. This is really the OG commentary guy. I mean, this is a podcast before podcasts were even happening.
This is incredible. It almost seems like a parody.
Right,
Like,
doesn't
I
it?
was going to ask you if this was like a legit serious show or if he's playing like a character. I mean, everyone could say that Robert, or what was it, Morton Downey was kind of playing a character, but it was probably mostly him. But yeah, this guy, this is fascinating.
I think it's similar. I think it's a little bit of both, Tookie. I think you have like a little bit of both going on here.
Go to a baseball game without a bench-clearing brawl these days. Football is the same way. And hockey, well, forget it. And now...
He was like, let me tell you about my beef. See, I'm going to get down here. I'm going to put it on paper. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to really think it out. And then I'm going to read it to you.
It's a
I'm
very
going to have
excellent
actual copy.
delivery.
And I'm going to stick to the copy.
Georgia Haas feels that she has to hype her team by adding a fist fight every 2 minutes. Well, I'm no sissy. I've never backed away from a fight in my life, and I'm not about to start now. But there's a time and a place for senseless violence, and it's not in the friendly confines of the Super Roller Dome. I'd like to show you some videotape right now of a recent match. I mean, look at this.
This is madness. This is mayhem.
Wow.
This is pure.
Is that really how you roller derby?
Oh, yeah. This was roller derby back then. Roller
They
derby.
wrestled.
I don't understand the rules of roller derby at all.
It's wrestling on. It's a giant cage match on roller skates. And you somehow have to keep moving.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I feel like there'd be a lot of injuries.
No.
It's always women too. It's fascinating.
If I wanted to watch a good fight, I'd look in my neighbor's
No.
window.
Jeez.
Roller derby is
Oh.
about skating, not about fighting.
But they
Now, if you don't
really
happen to agree,
beating each other up?
Then meet me behind the stadium after this show, and I'll break you like a dry twig.
I'm going to call you out to the back. I'm going to call you out to the shed. See?
So they were really fighting. It's not like professional wrestling.
It is very much like professional wrestling.
Okay.
So nobody's really like kicking each other with skates.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to figure out. I never understood roller derby, but I'm learning.
I never really got it either. I don't know if it's the amount of laps you do or the amount of people maybe that are left skating. If you guys know in the chat what some of the rules are, let us know.
Yeah, and I've never seen alligators involved.
The opinions of Wally George practically never reflect those of the producers.
Small gift to some. Consciously to you.
That's a good question. We got a good question in the chat right here from Miles Magooby.
Oh, Miles.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, not Miles Magooby, but that's a funny one.
Oh, your chat stinks, Miles.
But, oh, man. Oh, here it is. It's from Johnny Meyer. Is he pretending to hate it or promoting it? I like that one.
Excellent question, Johnny.
Excellent question. I think maybe it's a bit of both. Perhaps he had a couple of his ducats from his hair game.
And Miles, better luck with your comment next time. You could learn from Johnny.
Yes.
I don't even know what your comment
family,
was, Miles.
I want you to listen for yourself. Pay close attention. Now I've got the proof. Turn your volume up and listen to this.
Is that an Atari?
Hear that? Did you hear? As clear as day. Did you hear it? He said, "Give us your parents' money. Give us your parents' money."
Oh, yes, I heard it.
He was making the joke about playing the record backwards, and it was
yes, I heard it.
Hilarious. I heard that. Did you?
Yes.
Give us your parents' money. Who didn't hear that?
Hilarious.
What do you mean you didn't hear it? Are you deaf? Turn the volume up on your set. I'll play it again for you. Now listen, you dimwits.
You dummies, I'm going to do it one more time, see?
Tell you, it's ridiculous. I hope you heard of that. I hope you're satisfied. This stuff has got to be stopped. And the only way is to boycott this record album by the Rockers. I'm Wally George, and I welcome your comment.
The opinions of Wally
What
George
album by the Rockers?
No, he went
Wow.
Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels?
Stick around.
What channel is this?
This is amazing.
Scumbag up to.
They are?
Come on. What's he up to, Chuck? Well, Christine is
I want to watch all of this.
I mean, this is... Whoa. Hey, look at the high wall.
Whoa! What channel was he on?
You know, this back in the day could have been on any one of the channels that we got on the dial. Because this is pre...
Oh my God, it's just like wrestling.
Yeah.
He was the manager. I think there's a little hockey aspect in here as well. A little hockey, a little wrestling.
Yeah.
Look at the hair.
I don't know what's going on.
Is this still a thing?
Now we can see Christine congratulating Dar, and here comes Ralphie.
It's not.
What's up?
If not, we should put one together that's all YouTubers.
Yeah, is roller derby still a thing? Like,
YouTuber
why is
roller
this not more
derby.
popular?
Right behind him.
It should be, right? This is awesome, especially with the alligators. Oh, look at who's this guy.
What's this?
Back on the team because this man right here.
What are you talking about,
Your,
man?
your team has been messing around with the wrong person, and Christine's back on the team. And if you didn't know
What?
that,
Can you prove it? Can you prove
yes,
it? What do
because
you
you've been harassing them too much. What do you mean? You've been sexually harassing.
What do you mean that they're not working for the CIA? I told you to get those girls out there on their skates and get those wrenches and tighten up those little buckety wheels with it, God damn it. I was a Navy SEAL. A fighter.
Unbelievable.
A fighter. A fighter. A Navy SEAL.
Thermite paint.
The thermite paint.
Harassment. This means the twins are back together. Her
Look at the American here. Look at that.
boys.
She's like the beam being crane.
The twins are back together. They're going home through the T-bars. The entire league is in total disarray right now. Nobody knows what's going on. Let's go to
What the
Kelly.
No one does know what's going on. It's a very good way to put it.
Your guess is as good as mine. We'll find out. Back to you, Chuck and Dave.
The fourth period
All right, well, see that? You can check out roller games anytime.
Roller game.
Roller games, pretty exciting stuff.
Fascinating.
Now, this is just one of the things that Wally George was into. He did a couple things in his illustrious career. and another one of them was a show. But I had mentioned Robert Downey Jr., right?
Morton Downey Jr.
I'm sorry, Morton Downey Jr. I have another story about Robert for another show.
Okay, Tookie almost made the exact same mistake.
Okay, so in this one, we actually have Morton Downey Jr. on the Wally George show. Okay, so get ready, fasten your seatbelts, because this is how they used to. This is before Jerry Springer. Okay, remember. Yes. So when you look at this and say it looks like Jerry Springer, well,
yes. Or all you Richard Bay fans out there.
Oh, people are talking. Thank you, Richard Bay from KYW in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Also, Bill Boggs was another one who was regularly on the Morton Downey Jr. show, right? Bill Boggs. Look at you go with the lure. All right, so here we go.
You're Dark Anthony.
I love it. Sounds like my mom called me by my full name when I'm in trouble.
Now, David Kennedy, it is time to introduce our first guest, and would you do so, please?
All right, first up on the hot seat tonight, Wally, is from Sacramento, California, a conservative talk show host.
The capital of the
Downey
seventh
Jr.
strongest nation in the world.
Morton Downey Jr. Now, Morton. Morton.
Hey! The monkey cage knows how to say my name.
Hey. Let me tell you, first of all, you will not start this interview by degrading my audience.
Now you're going to get to see the head-to-head thing that goes on between these two here. Let's just check couple things in the chat here real quick. We'll recognize the chat. Oh, thanks so much, Bill, for the super chats. Corndiff, count the bag. Count the bag.
You just want me to count a bag of rubber bands.
Well, it's better than someone telling you to count toothpicks on the floor. That's a different one.
Right.
That's a different one. Let's see. When you guys take selfies, do you use filters? Hashtag no filter. We got
KB.
Let's see. What's this?
Tookie uses no filter.
WW5 guy is a cock. Sounds right. And someone made an Italian joke back here. I want to catch it. Let's see here.
Was it a good one?
I think so. I think it was like Zero Guinea Tony or something like that. It was good. Hey, OJ's in the house. Obnoxious John here. Checking
OJ.
in. He remembers this when he was a kid. All right. Oh, here we go. California Channel 38.
Oh, was that what the roller derby was on, or what Wally George was on?
I think we're getting a little Wally George info here because it's a little further back, right?
That's cool that it was just called California Channel 38.
And then we got, I used to love watching the roller games.
Oh, look at that. He's green.
All right, we got Ricky Garcia, Hot Seat. Yep, that was what that show was called, Hot Seat. Oh, the segment with Roddy Piper. That was interesting.
Oh, and Morton Downey.
That's right. Here we go. This one's funny. The old Dick Bay.
Yes, Dick Bay.
Old Dick Bay.
Why is Richard,
Big Dick Bay over there? He was a good guy. That
Big
Richard
Dick Bay guy.
Why is Richard and Dick affiliated? Why I never understood that one.
Well, do you know how you get Dick from Richard?
No.
You ask nicely.
Wow!
Hey.
I walked into that one. Do you know why Italians do not have freckles?
Oh, well, why?
They slide off their greasy skin.
Ooh, hey. Oh, hacka. Here's another one here from the chat. Man, the 90s was just an audience looking for a show. Imagine that reaction today. I know it would be, these shows would go absolutely bananas, right?
People would be shooting each other today.
Wally George wasn't on nationally, but Mort was. I think that's true. Wally was more regional. Mort started out on radio, much like Rush Limbaugh, and ran for president on a pro-life platform in 1980. That's right. He did run for president, didn't he? Good one there. Johnny.
Yes.
Johnny Mayer.
Correct. Johnny is very knowledgeable in that stuff.
Captain Kickass with the 999 super chat. Tookie and Corndiff make a great show. Excellent. Yeah, they are. They have the chemistry right there.
Thank you, Captain Kickass.
I think they should start. I think they
Tookie's
should actually start a show.
Tookie is amazing.
Oh, everybody wants a piece of Tookie.
Tookie is in demand.
Tookie is the hot seat.
Tookie's the hot chick now.
Ray DeVito, I will get back to you. God.
What's up, guys, from the south side of Chicago? Okay. Nixa what? Nixa who?
Ninja, please.
Ninja. All right. So let's get back to some of the old where did I put this? Where is this one? Did I lose this one in the chat here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Don't be a hacker.
Hacka.
There we go. Bill with a hacka in there.
Hello, Bill Loney. How did your chicken nachos come out? Bill Loney was live streaming before this show making chicken nachos. Tookie was one of the 5 people watching. It was fascinating.
Exactly. Make sure if you're in here, you're subscribing to not only Bill but to Tookie over there on the B Dabbler network.
Yes, I'm at B Dabbler.
Corndiff over on his channel. We're going to get back to this right here because this is going to get spicy, you guys. This is going to get spicy.
They're degrading themselves.
Make sure you're hitting that like button no matter where you're watching it from. Hit that like, guys. Thank you so much.
Listen.
Wait a minute.
Let's get to the issues.
Yeah,
They're not an issue.
The issue is they can spot a phony in 5 seconds.
How come they didn't spot you?
I want to say pardon the quality, but it's from 1983.
Yes.
So,
it's amazing it still exists.
I can't believe that it hasn't like somehow disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute. I want to tell you something. Wait a minute. I want to tell you something. Now, I was on this guy's so-called conservative radio show in Sacramento, California.
See, this is the payback. He was on his show. Now he's got to go on his show, right? They still did it the same way back then.
But I thought Wally George not conservative? I thought you said he was kind of conservative.
He is conservative, but he thinks that Morton Downey Jr. is like just a wacko. Right?
Oh, like a fake conservative or something
like a fake conservative, and bringing in some extreme politics to the table, and he's going to get into that in just a second here.
Tookie is learning.
I'm
enjoying this.
California, and I want to tell you something, Downey. I resent the charges you made on your so-called punky radio show, saying I was a disgrace to the conservative cause, that I didn't know the facts, that I didn't know what I was talking about.
His punky radio show. Now, remember, this was back in the time of Punky Brewster. Remember that show, Punky Brewster? So Punky, he's calling him a little girl because that was like a term, your little punky show.
Yes, but now she has giant breasts.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Punky.
Oh. Is that Sule Moonfry, right?
Punky, let me spunky.
Was Sule Moonfry Punky Brewster?
Yes.
Yes, she has giant jugs.
Mm-hmm. She had a reduction.
What? Wow!
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Anthony, you have ruined my night.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. It's still quite a rack, but I mean, can you imagine the back pain?
Well,
so,
yes,
sweetie,
that is
just
true.
lay down. Relax.
Yes, that is true.
Just lay down.
You are the one, baby, who are conservative come lately. You're the guy who used to sing in stupid saloons, and all of a sudden, when you couldn't make it as a performer, you decided maybe you could make some money being a conservative. You're the phony. I'm the one who knows what he's talking about.
He told them that he was singing in fucking saloons.
What network was KDOC or is KDOC?
KDOC, I think that was like a local, like a New Jersey. New Jersey, New York, tri-state area.
Oh, interesting.
Network. Or it could be something from out here in California.
No, yes, it would have to be. Yes, it would have to be California.
Yeah, it would have to be West Coast. It's not W, it's K.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
You are calling.
Jerry,
Now, do you want to hear some facts?
Jerry.
I'm the same kind of phony, Wally. I'm the same kind of phony. If you want to let me answer, I'm the same kind of phony that you are. I worked in saloons. I worked in saloons, and I worked in motion pictures, and so did the President of the United States work in saloons and pictures.
Saloons.
Saloons. What a very West Coast way of saying bar.
We worked in a saloon, see?
This is
And
fascinating.
when the performers weren't going, you know what they did to us in the audience? Pew, 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 pew. They made us dance, see?
We entered the saloon with those doors that old video shops used to have for the porno section.
Right. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yes, the loudest door imaginable. So every time you open and close it, everyone looks up from looking at, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and notices you are coming out with Bukkake King Ray DeVito of Cleveland.
Wait a minute. He also was the governor of the state of California for 8 years.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And for the Times, I'll agree with you. He's the best man we have for the job available today.
Don't try to pacify me. You are always criticizing Reagan all the time on that radio show.
I'm criticizing Ronald Reagan for having the soft underbelly of this country exposed to communism again with guys like Deaver, with guys like Baker, with a vice president like George Bush. These are the people who will sell out to the Henry Kissingers of this world, and we're in damn big trouble.
No.
Holy shit.
Nothing has changed.
He was right.
Yes. And we're
Whoa. Wow.
the same arguments all the time.
Wow. And this is like in the 80s.
Yep.
All right, so we
Communism.
got another super chat here. $5 super chat from WSX. What's up, Tookie? Can I ask if Corndiff is making progress on monetization?
Oh, he's getting there slowly. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting there
Well, you know,
slowly.
if everybody goes to Corndiff's channel after this program, of course, you can always catch some of his work that he's doing over there. He's doing lots of projects, and I've always wondered if his husks are his hands.
Yes,
We'll get
do you
into
have
that in another program?
Do you have 4 weeks open, Corndiff, to make me a doorstop?
Yes, for you, Tookie. Yes. I
Thank
might
you.
even slow it down and make it a 5 or 6 week
Just
job.
Well,
plain as
that's
possible.
more expensive. That's more hours. You get the cheaper one.
We are in damn big trouble because guys like you are allowed to be on the radio.
Basically, the beef here was like, Wally George liked Reagan. Yeah, you know, Morton didn't.
You're wrong. If it wasn't...
Wait a minute. Those people that you're talking about, Deaver and all the people, are Ronald Reagan's choices to be in the White House. I have news for you, Downey. You're not good enough to shine any one of their shoes.
You're coming up with the usual simplistic answers, Wally. And
Dirty
conservatives
Danish.
who don't know what the hell they're talking about, stop. And you've got an audience out here. You've got an audience of monkeys out here who do everything that you tell them to do.
Just hold on a minute. I'm warning you. The next time you...
Don't warn me, punk.
Yo!
Stay in your seat. Stay in your seat. Stay in your seat.
Unbutton your jacket. Whoa!
Look at that. He's fighting.
There you go.
Great.
Steve.
Listen. If that man can pull himself together and come back here and answer some questions like a human being, I'll let him come back because I want to hear what he has to say. Now,
Do you think he's going to come back or not? Let me know in the chat, guys. Do you think he's going to let him back in here?
That had to be a work. That had to be a work, right? Were those real police officers?
Those were real police officers.
Really?
And, you know, also Morton Downey Jr. was known to do a little bit of the old schnitzy. So he could have gotten a little excited. Yes, exactly. That's what we were saying. Excellent point from Green Streak. This is OG Springer Show.
It does not make you a bad person if you are addicted to Afrin. Tookie had his problems back in the day too.
it can happen, you know. And I never touched that stuff, but I really did like the way it smelled.
It is
anyway.
Nice.
It had a nice odor.
You willing to do that? No. All right, see if you can plumb stuff together. We'll take a break and we'll come right back.
Now, after break, I didn't watch this whole thing. I like to keep it fresh. This is good. Look at their Chiron on there.
Let me introduce you to.
Now, this is. I wanted to take you through this too because this is these are the commercials. These are his sponsors.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so these are his sponsors for his channel.
Yes, Tookie loves old commercials.
Yep. This was the old school ad read that you hear today on YouTube. So this is how it's done.
Dr. Gregory Fisher. There he is.
There he is.
And he is a wonderful plastic surgeon. When it comes to cosmetic surgery, Dr.
Just look at my neck and call Greg Fisher.
Gregory Fisher. I'll tell you, you'd be amazed at the work he has done. I say he's the best. Be sure to say Wally George sent me for a special discount.
Here we go.
Be free to see the world with.
Remember, this is the first Hover-Round, guys.
Hover-Round. Wow. You might recognize our TV commercials. What you may not know is that Hover-Round manufactures the best power wheelchairs available today.
Now, when you saw these things out of the store back in the day, these Hover-Rounds, this was like a tank coming at you.
It's fascinating.
And it was somebody who had the head movement of Jesse Ventura, you know?
Somebody show me the section where the locks are.
He's intense.
And you may be able to own one at little or no cost to you. Hover-Round's round reason design lets you turn on a dime. Square chairs and scooters don't measure up. But what really sets Hover-Round apart is that we're here for you every step of the way. Hover-Round will always come to you. From our initial evaluation to delivery and training to service, a friendly local representative is available to visit you. We take care of everything, including working with your doctor, Medicare, Medicaid, and your insurance company.
Come to find out, it didn't cost me one single penny, and I now have my Hover-Round.
Call the number on your screen and we'll send you a free video.
When it comes to power chairs, I always prescribe Hover-Round.
Right. Call now and talk to one of our friendly operators about Hover-Round and get your free video. Call today.
Free video, informational video, which was actually, if you see that, you know what that is? That's a VHS tape.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's a VHS tape. Call for a free informational video, which they will send to you in the mail. This is how it worked in the 80s.
And VHSs were very expensive back then. So
they
were.
They were
insane that you would get one for free, but they're trying to sell you something. So
you know what it would cost you at Blockbuster if you. I mean, it would add up. You could end up, spending the same amount as a car on your bill, right?
So is Bill Loney saying that it was a work?
Bill Loney saying it's a work. It's a work on there.
I would believe it's a work as well, but
I could get behind that.
Because why would the police attempt to arrest someone and then bring him back on the show? You know what I mean?
Well, I think back then, you have a little more of leeway and a little more of that dramatic part of what would happen on TV shows, right? You would expect that on a show like this almost, right?
Right.
Hover-Round and get your free video. Call today.
It was very much very free. People didn't watch for the content; they watched for the car crashes.
Oh, sure.
Hey, if you want to get into doing TV commercials,
Tookie wants to be in TV commercials.
Really?
Then you want to get a hold of Valentino over at Actors and Models Showcase. Right?
And they'll traffic you right out to
right here in Orange County.
I'm writing down the number
them a
now.
Call, they'll give you all the information. You could be in TV commercials. They have a wonderful showcase. They have a wonderful workshop. Mention Wally George for your special bonus discount.
Sign up, Tookie.
I will be calling.
So we are back. I'm Wally George, and my guest. Some people just cannot control themselves when they're wrong. And obviously, I punched the wrong nerve on Mr. Downey, and he couldn't take the truth. So once again, we have a so-called brawl almost on our hands here. Well, I went and talked to Downey, and now I think if he's able to control himself, perhaps, Mr. Downey, we can have a conversation. Do you think you're able to do that?
As long as it's you and I one-on-one, Wally, I'll check my brain and we'll start even.
Oh, right. Let me tell you something. You see, it's people like you, Downey, who are really, you you tell me that I am starting things, that I am not right for the conservative cause, and you jump up and want to physically attack me, and you can't take the fact that the audience realizes what a stupid jerk you are.
Keep in mind, Morton Downey Jr. is about an 8-ball and a fifth of vodka in already. Okay, before he even hit the fucking door of this studio, he is balls deep on a real tear. Okay.
And 2 cartons of cigarettes.
And 2 cartons of cigarettes. I mean, he's going nuts now because he can't smoke.
Oh, yes.
And he's one of the ones that would light up on the shows.
Corndiff, are you peeing in a jug?
No. I was pouring a Coke. You could hear that?
Oh, yes. Tookie has great hearing.
I mean, if you're a conservative, if you are a conservative, why don't you act like at least a human being on this program?
I'll act like a human being. I expect to be treated like a human being. Let's discuss the issues.
Right.
And if you have some people in your audience who have enough modicum of intelligence to ask intelligent
Now, wait,
questions...
don't start again with the audience.
Now, I'm asking you if you have an audience that has questions.
Don't you talk about my audience?
That I should have treated you with respect on my show. When I came on your radio
Don't
show...
snap out of your seat to come over like you're coming to get me, because I'm used to liberals attacking you that way, not
snap out. I walked over because you were behaving like a maniac. That's what you were doing. Now,
I leave it to the audience to decide for themselves, and I mean the television audience to decide for themselves whether I acted like a maniac or whether George did.
Wally, to you.
George.
Hold on. You asked for respect on my show, and wait a minute, and the first thing you did to me when I went on your radio show in Sacramento, California, where my show is seen on Channel 31 and you're on KFBK radio.
The capital of California, Sacramento.
All right, never mind. And KFBK...
He ripped those plugs in there, too.
Yes, that was even plugging.
Hey, happens to be a good radio station, and why they put you on there is beyond me.
Well, I have the same opinion about your stations that carry you all over the country.
Listen, but what I was trying to say is, the minute I came on your radio show, you don't treat me with any respect. You hurled personal insults at me. So why the hell should I treat you decently?
Well, you've got a good point there. You've got a good point there. The fact that I acted like an idiot gives you every right to act like one also.
And you have a good point on top of your damn head. That's where you have a good point.
Can you pause it real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I want to see if we...
Zero Dark Anthony, do you know what this actually is?
What?
This is the early version of MLC.
Wow.
It's just two old geezers yelling at each other.
This is an excellent point.
And I don't even know what they're yelling about, but I'm totally enthralled right now.
All I want to do is hear them yell more.
Yes, if only they had super chats in 1982 or whenever this was.
1980 something. 1980 something. Let's go to the chat here real quick. Cliffhanger before the commercials, and he's back.
Yes.
All right. Now this is one I want to go back to. There was a situation where Morton Downey did fake some kind of assault that he got or something like that.
Yes. He was known to fake assaults like the Z-Man or Cardiff Electric, whichever one you want to pick. But yes, he was known for
this.
There was one instance where it was proven. I think
you guys. Yes. Is this Chad's stepdad?
Who, Tookie?
No, fucking Wally.
Oh,
that
Wally.
would make Rebecca De Mornay his stepsister.
DeHornay.
Yes,
that is quite. I mean, he has the rage. He has not talked about his coffee or if he has gotten it yet. But yes, he does have that "I will punch your little kid head" rage.
He does. Let's see. Well, back then, super chats would be sent by Western Union. Woody from Syracuse. Yes. Oh, and here's Bill Loney. Mondale don't do clubs. You don't sell tickets. You guys didn't think I watched it that much, huh? I know, I watch it sometimes. I'm just good at impressions. All right, let's see. Here's another one. Oh yeah, I remember that Morton Downey Jr. with the skinheads. They said that at the airport.
Mm-hmm. And he wrote the swastika backwards because he was looking in a mirror. Wasn't that it?
That was like in the LA riots when the Korean liquor stores and everything were getting hit back in the LA riots and getting burned. And what they did was they were starting to write black owned on the doors.
Yes.
But then one of them wrote brack owned.
What? Is that real?
Yes, that's real. It didn't go so well.
Wait, that's not just
a
hack a
that's
joke.
right. That's right. Rebecca De Mornay was in Risky Business with Tom Cruise. She was the yes, that's right.
Is that the movie where he slides on the floor?
No.
Okay, I've never seen that, but I've seen that part.
It's a little bit gay. Oh boy, wait, what did he do? He what? He drew the swastika on his own
Yes,
face?
that's what I was saying.
Oh,
they found out it was fake because he did it in a mirror, which made it backwards. Yes.
That's I remember what you're saying. That is hilarious.
Yep.
I think we're also getting a request here. Oh wait, no, this one. Tukina.
Oh, I did hear that Tukina called into Melton last night. I think it is God.
Wow.
But yes, I did hear coming in and out of consciousness. I did hear a female Tookie. Tookie's pronouns are ze, za, ga, ba, za, they, and them.
Okay.
So,
all right.
A female Tookie does nothing for za, ga, va, za, me, te, they, them Tookie, which is
I see.
This Tookie.
I will make sure to keep those in mind.
Thank you.
Based Koreans.
Yes, the Koreans were on top of their stores with automatic rifles.
They sure were. They were not playing around.
They were not fucking around.
No. Oh yeah. So yeah, they had there was the fake attack. Boy, that attack sounds very familiar to somebody we might know. That attack of the in the airport.
Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly. That's what. Yes.
Can get some kind of sanity.
I think they're all related.
Out of this interview.
Good. Let's go.
Now I happen to have a cold, and you're making it a hell of a lot worse. I got a splitting headache from having to talk to a jerk like you.
Now, you have to have a brain to have a headache, Wally.
Yeah. Hold on.
The brain actually does not feel pain.
None of that again. Now listen, I want to ask you a few things, Downey. Tell me, how did you happen to say on your program that I did not know the facts, that I did not have the experience as a conservative talk show host? Let me give you a little bit of my experience, Downey. I have been on radio and television for...
Ga is here.
Oh, that is
Ga in the house. That's right. That's right. Welcome. Welcome, Dirty Dalish and Ga. I don't think, I think this is like the first time some of you guys are seeing me actually do this other than shooting my mouth on Twitter, which is a lot of fun. It's what it's for.
For 30 years, talking about conservative politics. I started out talking about patriotism and conservatism when I was 16 years old, when you were probably sitting out behind the barn drinking a 6-pack of beer.
Whoa!
I've been on the air continuously for 35 years. I was on the air for 6 years with the former mayor of Los Angeles, Sam Yorty, preaching conservatism and patriotism, and you just crawled out of some saloon that they practically... No, really, he was a saloon singer, and they probably kicked you out.
He was a saloon singer, see? Right up with one of those pianos. Sadistic. Remember, Piper coming close to beating down when he did the wrestling stuff. He did some wrestling things.
What are they arguing about?
Who is the better conservative?
Right. They're arguing who's the better conservative, and they're having an argument about Reagan is sort of like the sub argument there. Speaking of subs, make sure everybody subscribes, hits the like button on all three of these gentlemen here. And I'm talking about these three. I like to call them not rectangles, but sextangles. Hey,
whoa!
Look out. Look out. Oh, wait. Hold up. The taxi's theft. I'm here. All right. And we got, what do we got here? We got another super chat for two. What is that? Grand British pounds. All right. Awesome. International. We are as far from this in time as this is from World War II. Wow.
Yes, that is insane.
That
we were
is
talking about that
insane.
earlier today.
Wow. Wow. All right. Let's see. Who's the human character? And let's see. We got.
Oh, that is Zero Dark Anthony.
That's right. That's right. Is a saloon singer the 80s version of Piazza?
Yes.
Is that true? Yes. Okay. I want this video with KB and Chad's voice dubbed in. You know what? You guys, everybody, clip it. Clip it.
Yes, someone should do that. I feel like it would get a lot of views.
Great. And you could put the heads on them too. You know what I mean? Like
that would be a lot of work. I mean, it would be a lot of work either way.
For somebody who's good at that, it would take what, an hour? With
no.
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how long you make the clip too.
Well, you can see my graphics work, so
it's fantastic, Anthony.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here we go. Tookie.
Tookie.
From Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Not me. All right. And what do we got here? Wally looks like a Swedish Pete Rose.
He's had the Sir Lancelot hair.
Here we go. That old guy looks like a shitty version of Conway Twitty. That's true. Conway Shitty. When do they do the hype train? Yeah, they're gonna do their own hype train on the Wally George show, but they have the actual band there. Dirty Dalish, I'm taking this as a challenge. Nice. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Out of a saloon because you can no longer sing, so you decide all of a sudden, you would become a talk show host. What qualifies you to be a talk show host and to be a conservative?
Let me see if I can give you a couple of... I'm a reborn American, all right? I am a conservative. I started off on the wrong side of the tracks. I started off as a liberal. I worked for John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I worked for Bobby Kennedy. And I finally learned my lesson when Jimmy Carter ran for the presidency of the United States and realized that I had made a mistake, these many years. I served 8 years on the Democratic National Committee. So I know how those people work to undermine America, and I don't intend to be any part of it anymore.
I think you're wrong, Downey. I think you made your biggest mistake. You do belong with the Democratic Party.
No way.
You do belong with that dirty Democratic Party, you.
Crazy.
No person who wants freedom in this country, no person who wants the Constitution upheld in this country could ever want to really be a Democrat.
If you, all right, I agree with you on that. If you consider yourself to be a good American, patriotic conservative, how can you on your show, and I've heard you criticize Ronald Reagan the way you do?
Wally, the only reason I criticize Ronald Reagan is not because of the man, because I think the man has nothing but great instincts. I think he's probably the best man we could have in there as president right now. But I am concerned that the Michael Devers of this world keep the Wally. Wait a second, let me finish, Wally. Just let me explain why. I'm afraid the Michael Devers of this world keep the Wally Georges away from Ronald Reagan. Keep the people who could really give Ronald Reagan the input that he needs to be sure that we're not going to have a monetary collapse in this country. I've been predicting for 45 days that Bolivia was going to default on their loans. Everyone laughed at me. Today in the headlines, Bolivia defaulted on $4 billion worth of loans, and it's going to be a domino effect.
I have news for you, Morton.
I got news for you. They can make that up easily with a little bit of cocaine.
Yes, and I believe they are thriving today.
I mean, it's Bolivia. Jesus.
Right? Is it even a country anymore?
I don't know. It's just like a fingernail down there. It's like the fingernail of South America.
But it's amazing.
Everyone's going to laugh.
What's that?
You can just substitute certain names. You could just substitute Bolivia for Ukraine, substitute Reagan for Trump. And we were just having the same arguments over and over.
History is, and in my age, I realized that history is completely cyclical. And these are things that have happened over and over again. Now, they're just rolling the wheel harder. Technology has gotten a lot more in our face than it was back then. Now you can't avoid it, right? Back then you kind of could. Somebody get Cocaine Bear on the phone. I like that. Oh yeah, that's a good drinking game. Dirty Dalish has got it. Take a shot every time they say "let me finish" when they're arguing. Oh, every time men say "let me finish" when they're arguing.
Yes, you men. And you're mansplaining.
That's what you. Now listen. I will tell you what.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Wally. I feel a modicum of camaraderie for you, and I'm sorry you feel that way because I think the one problem that we have is one conservative trying to split another conservative, and it gives all the liberals out there a chance to laugh like hell at us. And whether you and I get along on all the issues, there are some issues we agree upon, and we ought to try and stick together once in a while.
Now look. I will agree.
Why is that guy wearing sunglasses?
There may be some
because he is,
no offense, Zero Dark Anthony.
I would say that he is well. My sunglasses are. I'm covering something on my eye, but this guy back there was just high.
Oh, that is a good point.
He's probably got some Visine in his shirt pocket behind his pocket protector.
Right.
And some those little breath drops.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Did they have breath drops in the 80s?
They did. They had Banaka.
Oh, I remember the spray. Yes,
Banaka spray was the stoner's helper.
Issues that we do agree on, I'm sure there are, but I want to tell you this. You cannot help this country or re-elect this president by chastising and hitting over the head the men that he chose personally to be his lieutenants.
He didn't pick them personally. He did not pick them personally. He did not pick George Bush personally. George Bush went ahead and...
Look at the picture of John Wayne.
I saw that earlier. I love that fucking picture.
I just noticed that.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, Pilgrim.
He decided.
I'm gonna bend you right over this saloon pool table for ditching me on your bill.
Because it was the right thing to do at the time to get himself elected so he could do a great job.
Every man who is serving Ronald Reagan in the White House was picked by Ronald Reagan. And if you don't like them,
you're
that's
naive.
tough.
You're
Ronald,
naive,
and
Wally.
you are nuts.
You're naive. Wally, you're naive. Dear God, give this boy a semblance of brains.
Dear God, give this man any kind of a brain. Go ahead.
I just like to say I'm Sean from Torrance. I just like to say back there you handled it very well, Wally. He's very proud of you. You're the best. Thank you very much.
What the hell is this?
Okay, so they had this podium, and people would get up, and this would be the questions that they asked.
And this gentleman in the back looks exactly like he's from the CIA.
Well, they should have charged them money to do it, like super chats.
Right. This would be the part where you would put in the super chat, right? You'd have to,
Yes,
like that it would be cash.
Vidal Gorbachev sends $5. Morton Downey, you are a dick.
So these super chats were COD.
Yes, they had to have the cash on them.
And if you guys see any super chats that I miss or anything, just break them out. And
is this a little boy?
This is. I don't know. Look at the haircut, though.
Mark Zuckerberg bangs.
This is. I mean, did they slip with the bowl? Did they start with the bowl?
Like a young officer Dangle from Reno 911 to me.
Oh yes.
New boot goofing.
Yes. How can you call this man a phony? I mean, you are the phony. It's obvious. I know everyone can see. Wally George is the greatest conservative. Oh, you cannot call him a phony.
Wally George is no doubt a great conservative. Wally George is no doubt a great American. Wally George should learn a little bit more about the issues. That's all I ask.
Oh, come on. I knew the issues before you could spell the word.
What is your doctorate in, Wally?
Listen, buddy, nobody needs...
I'm not your buddy, and never will be.
Thank God, it never would be.
Never would be.
Don't call me buddy, pal.
I knew the issues.
Not your pal,
before you could spell the word. Go ahead.
I'm Victor from Garden Grove.
Okay.
And when you call this monkeys in a cage...
I'm Victor from Garden Grove.
No.
I'm here to... Whoa, look at all these CIA guys on the right. What just happened here? Where did these
why is everyone wearing
sunglasses come from? Where did they come from? Did they just get here?
The one in the back has been there, but the two in the front, I haven't
exactly. They just popped in here. The hell's going on? Now, what he's going to do is look. I'm going to talk about all your addresses now. I'm going to give out your address, your phone number. He's the doxer. This is the doxer here.
I think you're the only monkey we know. So.
You're the same way Adolf Hitler was able to leave the minions over in Germany. Pardon me?
You believe in the death penalty.
Do I believe in what?
Death penalty.
Yes, I do believe in the death penalty.
How about the draft?
Yes, I believe in the draft.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Come on.
Yes. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to get to the chats here real quick just for a second because a bunch of them are coming in.
Monkey.
Did we just see Stevie in the house here?
Stevie Lou?
Is there a Stevie Lou in the house here? Somebody mentioned it. I don't know. I think Stevie Lou's in here. Insufferable bastards.
They were saying that one guy that I thought looked like Dangle was Stevie Lou, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay. Was so unfortunate what those neo-Nazis did to Morton. That's insufferable bastards.
Yes, they made a backward swastika on his forehead.
Great artwork, I guess. I don't know. David Skywalker, who was that comedian who would spray Banaka in his mouth? Only the cap was backwards and he would spray it outwardly. The question was way too long to type. Sorry for all the words in the comment. That's fine. We love the comments. I don't know who that was.
I believe the comedian you are looking for, his name is Ace Ventura.
Ah, okay.
And that was from the first Ace Ventura movie.
Yes. Let's see.
There might have been a comedian who did it too, but that's all Tookie.
Okay, there we go. God, nailed it. Nailed it.
See, Tukina and Tookie are on the same wavelength.
Hey, look who joined us. Look who joined us. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hey, Sunshine. You can't get super chats with 50 viewers who are tuning in to laugh at you. Well, that's great. I mean, the people are tuning in though, right? That's
Why is he talking to the guy in the audience from the 80s?
I mean, that's what they thought back then. You know, they were like, we don't care. We don't care. We're going to show up at this show in sunglasses. And that other kid had the cutoff sign. Do you see that? The cardboard piece that he got from like outside and drew on it?
Yes, it is too poor of quality to read, I believe. But yes, I was curious what it said.
They can't get the super chats anymore. They're just done.
They have been. All I want to know is why, when the cameras are off, you were flipping us off to some juvenile thing. And I'll tell you what, us people, the good conservatives of America, don't have Democrat.
Wait a minute. I cannot permit it. Downey.
I apologize for that. I apologize for that. I apologize for that. That wasn't enough.
So that's funny, but let me just get this chat right here. Okay, because this is Golden Shower Guy, who I believe this might be Kevin from Why Do I Podcast. Is this the Kevin who before you were going away on that trip or whatever, that I was going to have you do some work for me and you still wanted me to send you the money before you went on to Pottstown to do the work? Oh, is that you? Okay. Anyway, moving right along now. Step down. Have a seat on the bench. I know it might be wet, but sit in it anyway.
Same gesture. I was trying to demonstrate to the man that I received his IQ test for a bet.
Never mind. Go ahead.
rough crowd tonight. You know, Wally, you got a heavyweight on to show you how to learn from him instead of insulting him.
Carlos Jr. or Carlos Danger?
He is look at the size of this guy. He is like dwarfing this podium. Now, are you asking because of what he looks like?
Yes, he does kind of have a familiar
resemblance there with
a little resemblance to Carlos Danger.
How many occupations would you guess these glasses are from? Name like 3 occupations.
Oh, but back in the 80s, yes, these were very much in style.
Right? This is good.
Rough crowd tonight. You know, Wally, you got a heavyweight on your show. You got to learn from him instead of insulting him.
Oh, come on. Thank you. Wait a minute. If this is a heavyweight, then we are in real trouble. Get off my face.
It's Mersh.
Get off my phone, you marauder.
Get off of my stage. That was that footage right there, you guys. That was Wally George. And wow. Taking it back to the 80s. Going back like car seats. So let's check out a couple of these things. We got a couple Pete's right here. We got one. It's Mersh. that did have a little bit of Mersh resemblance there. Let's see. Mersh is a good guy. Looks like Vinnie Paulino. Get off my lawn. Jason Bardo checking in with the laughs. He had some in the chat earlier. Carlos warning.
Not quite Danger.
Let's go this. Okay, so Golden Shower Boy is still in here in my chat, checking me out, watching me do this because, you know, whatever, dude. Nobody will go on your show anymore. So anyhow, I had a great time so far.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got one more thing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just want to thank you guys for coming out and joining me. We got a couple more chats here. All right. We got Coindiff. If I paid for the materials, would it be very difficult to print me out a life-size 3D Segs doll?
No, not at all. Yeah, we could totally do that. It would be painful though. Probably.
Oh, how many years would that take?
See, look, you guys, I got a compliment about my super chats on the Rico show. Look at that. I got a compliment.
Zero Dark, you have great super chats on.
Thank you so much.
What day?
Because of my broke glaucoma that I have. I'll actually show you. So right here on my left eye, I got a bunch of scar tissue from the accident that I had. And this purple light on this side, like enhances it. It sort of makes it look like a black light, and you could kind of see like some right here, but around my eye, I'm just sensitive about it. I feel like it doesn't look very good, and I do like sunglasses, so it's a win-win. I'm working on getting some shades, not shades, but actual prescription ones that'll change with the light, so I could read at the same time, because I can't read with these. So let's see. What we got here.
I see you, Michael.
Michael Donald is in the chat, apparently. All right, we got Leonard here. You guys, when you guys want to jump in here, you don't have to super chat for us to.
Oh, Leonard, that is horrible.
We don't do that. We don't charge you to talk to you.
We love
Leonard. Tookie put his shades on.
Even Kevin here. Yeah. Even Kevin. I even like the Kevin's here with his big mouth. He's probably drinking. It's a good look. It's a good look to come into my shitty chat and drink and say things. But that's okay. I love you anyway, bud.
Do you think that is really him?
Hit me up. Oh, you're blocked. Sorry.
I don't know.
Tookie needs to wear something that shows off his curves. Right? I always tell Corndiff also, the Corndiff needs to put something on. That's a little bit of a low cut situation that he's got there. Oh, yeah, we covered that earlier, Mike. Rebecca De Mornay is Wally's daughter, also in Risky Business.
Is Wally George dead?
Yes. Yes, he passed away. And so did Morton.
Yes. I knew Morton Downey Jr. was dead, but
they are in the hot seat in heaven fighting each other.
Ah, my mama da.
So, Tookie, we would love to have you back on sometime soon.
Oh.
I think that was great fun. I think we've made some podcast history here today.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Zero Dark Anthony. It was fantastic to be on your show, the RipCast. Corndiff, not quite sure what you do, but it was great to be on here with you as well.
Thank you.
I would love to come back. Tookie likes to think of himself as more of an attraction, so I think Tookie is going to take a few days off from doing anything.
That's a good idea. Keep them wanting you, man.
Exactly.
Don't overexpose.
Yes. Do you hear that, Raymond DeVito and Jacob Hudson?
We would like to have Ray. I would like to extend an invitation to Ray DeVito on here. I have given him some fashion tips on Twitter. It seems like he has taken to them. He has gotten a haircut and he has taken off the hat. Let's get Ray to grow a beard. Ray would look so good with the beard, you guys. No homo. Ray would look really good with a beard. Clip it.
Hide that big butt chin of his. Yes, I think I would like to see that. That is a very good.
He's got a good face.
Yes.
Strong chin. So with the beard, he's going to look like a Viking. No homo.
Strongest chin.
Seriously,
yes.
Ray. No homo. Okay.
Do squats with that chin.
He'll find a nice young man with that beard. Well, we got one more here. What is this? What do we got here? This is fantastic. Amazing show, Tony. I was subbed anyway, but I'm going to unsubscribe and then subscribe again. Thank you very much. We love that.
That doesn't help him at all.
Well,
nothing.
It does what it does. We like that.
Thank you, Kyoto.
People like to push things. If you're going to push anything, push that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And also, Tookie, you got anything to plug for us, or this is just you're taking some days off? Everybody leave you alone for a while. Is that it?
Yes. Bedabbler's left arm is very sore, but is getting quite jacked. And I promise you, it is not from masturbating, because that is the other arm. But yes, you can follow Tookie and Bedabbler and Corndiff and Bedorable and all this stupid shit on at Bedabbler, BEDABBLER. And I'm there on Twitter and YouTube. And thank you, Zero Dark Anthony and Corndiff.
We really appreciate it. Corndiff, hit us with the plugs.
Just at Corndiff on YouTube.
Excellent.
Follow.
Excellent. Make sure you give them a follow. And I am your host, Zero Dark Tony. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button. Please share this out. This was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much. I know this is something different, but man, boy, do we need a palate cleanser every once in a while, right?
Right.
So for myself, everyone here, Tookie, Corndiff, and the entire RipCast crew, see you on the next one. You ain't even ready.
Yeah!